Welcome back to this new LINQ video. Today I will explain the second projection operator in LINQ SelectMany. In the last video I explained the first function, select. In this video I will explain the function SelectMany, and also the difference between it and select operator. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's first see the definition of SelectMany operator. SelectMany projects each element of a sequence to an enumerable, and flattens the resulting sequences into one sequence. It means, it's also the same as select operator, to project elements from a sequence to an enumerable. The only difference between the both is this part here. What does it exactly mean? Let's see the following query to understand the difference between select and SelectMany. And also to understand the operator SelectMany better. I have the following query, and also the following table. The query is to loop the rows of this table. The rows will be grouped using the column ID. The group will be stored in a variable 𝗟𝗟𝗘𝗏. What does it mean here? Let's see the column ID. As you see, we have different IDs. Some IDs appear more than once in the table. The group function will collect all rows, where the ID is the same, to one group. The result until this point is as following. We have 5 groups, because we have 5 different IDs. Each group contains only the rows, where the ID is the same. For example, group A contains these 2 rows, where the ID is the same, 1. Group B contains only 1 row, because only this row has the ID number 2. And so on for each ID we have in the table. After that we have where operator, to check if the group count is greater than 1. It means here, that we check, if the group contains more than 1 row. These 2 groups contains only 1 row, so they don't meet the condition. At the end we have select operator, to select the groups which meet the condition. It means we will get the following 3 groups as output. The result is enumerable. So this variable contains these 3 groups. This means, that select operator projects the elements we have to enumerable sequence. It projects each group as element. It means, we have different sequences in one sequence. Let's add SelectMany after the query. We use SelectMany operator as follows. I will talk about that later. What will happen now? SelectMany as mentioned is to project the elements, and also to flatten them into one sequence. The result now is as following. We have enumerable variable, which contains the rows directly, what we had in the groups. This means, that SelectMany gets the rows from each group, and adds them to the sequence. They are now directly together in one sequence. It means we have now one sequence, which contains the rows. And we don't have a sequence consisting of different sequences anymore. This is the difference between select and SelectMany. Let's also add copy to DataTable method, to convert the output to a data table. So the result now is the following table, which contains the rows after grouping. By the way, this query is to get the duplicate rows from a data table using one column. I hope it's clear for you now. If you still have questions about this query, please write us back. Let's now talk more about SelectMany operator. Very important to know, that we cannot use SelectMany operator in a query syntax. In the last video I showed you the 3 ways to write a LINQ query. Query syntax, method syntax, mixed syntax. If we use only query syntax, we cannot use SelectMany. It means, we cannot set the following query. This is wrong. SelectMany can be only used as method with function. Let's see how can we write it exactly. We always set function and also a name for the function, for example x. After that we can use the function name to set a calculation or condition, to select the elements. For example, if I set only x, it means that I want to select each element from the sequence. This function here is like a loop for the elements. It's the same as this query here. It's to loop the elements of a data source. Then to select each elements from the source. Let's see the following example to understand it better. I showed you at the beginning the following query, to get the duplicate rows from a data table. Let me show you now, how to write the same query, without using SelectMany operator. Here is the new query without SelectMany. As you see, I added new from statement, to get the elements from the group variable. So after grouping the rows, I loop the groups, and get each element from each group. At the end I will get the same result. It means, SelectMany acts like this loop here. It loops the sequences in one sequence, and get the elements from them. After that the elements will be added into one sequence. This is how to use SelectMany in another way. I hope you understand the operator now better, and how it works. Let's now see another example about arrays. I have these two queries. In the first one I use select operator. And in the second one I use SelectMany operator. I don't have any conditions. The arrays in both queries are also the same. I only have 2 words. It means I have a string array consisting of 2 words. What do you think, which output will I get once I execute these 2 queries, and why? Let's understand the queries and how the operator works in each one. In the first query I use select. As already mentioned, select is to project elements from a sequence to a new sequence. For select it's not a matter if the elements in the sequence are simple elements or complex elements, like a group or collection. It means, select understands the array as one sequence, which contains different elements. So in this query, we will get each word as element. It means, I will get these 2 words as output. So the output is the following array, which contains the both words. It's a string array. Let's now see the second query, where I use SelectMany operator. SelectMany as mentioned will be used once we have a sequence consisting of different sequences. And it takes the elements from the sequences and adds them to only one sequence together. So we have a string array here. This is the main sequence. And in this array we have different elements. Each element will be interpreted as a sequence, which should contain different elements. Why that? Because we use SelectMany. It means the word first is a sequence, and the word second is a sequence. Once we execute this query, we will get the following result. So we get each letter as an element. It means, the word is like a sequence, which contains different elements. These elements are the letters of the word. Each letter is of type _char. So we get the following array as output from this query. It's a _char array. Let's see another example. I will take the first example, what I showed you at the beginning in this video. But this time I will change SelectMany operator structure, to show you how to use other operators within SelectMany. So in this video I only showed you SelectMany operator in this way, to select each element from the sequences of a sequence. Now I want to use take operator for example, but within SelectMany operator. Let's see how it works, and what is the result of this query. So we talked about this query, that we will get the following groups as output without using SelectMany. Once we use SelectMany, we will get this result. Assume I want to get only the first row from all duplicate rows of a group. I mean, I want to get only one row, where the ID is 1, and only one row, where the ID is 3, and only one row, where the ID is 5. No matter how many duplicate rows I have. To do that I will add take operator in this way. What does it mean now? Using take operator, we will get only one row from each group. And it will be always the first row. It means, the output of this query now is the following. As you see, I got each row only once. So this query now is to get each duplicate row only once. And we have here the method copy to DataTable. So the output will be converted to DataTable, as what we did in the first example in this video. We can build the same query without using SelectMany. This query is to get the same result. Here I will get the first element from each group. So we will not have any sequences now. We only have one sequence, therefore no need to use SelectMany operator. Let's now see the following query. Here I use skip function. Skip function is to skip elements from a sequence. Here I added 1, to skip only the first element from each group. The result of the query is as following. If you want to learn more about take and skip operators, you can check the following 2 videos. I explained both operators in detail. I hope you enjoyed the video, and could learn SelectMany operator better now. You can try to implement the examples in UiPath and check if the results are correct. And if you still have any questions about this operator, please don't hesitate to write us back. Thanks for watching and have a great day.